Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about March planetary news. It is still unsettled. Planets are not totally out of the woods as yet. However, they are splitting up, they are opening up rather than gathering in. And so I feel that it'll feel a lot easier, yet we still need to keep an eye out. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and we are talking March planets. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. And so March has many things that we have to watch out for. Firstly, March starts with the transit Yoga. All the planets are gathered in Capricorn, Aquarius up to 3rd of March. There is a new moon on 2nd of March. That means those planets are really emphasized, and the new moon is in Aquarius. And then after 3rd of March, they start splitting up. However, the planetary war is still happening. Kal Sarpa is on up to 8th of March. It will come back again on 23rd of March to 4th of April. Kal Sarpa means that Rahu Ketu are very prominent because they are hemming in all the planets. Also, Rahu Ketu are in Taurus, Scorpio. This is the last month that they are going to be in Taurus, Scorpio. Next month, they are going to change signs. So I think that, the Kal Sarpa, the imbalance that Kal Sarpa brings, because the chart is cut into half. So we do need to be aware of that. And then, of course, Mars-Venus planetary war is carrying on till 12th of March. And the planetary war, then they move separate. I made 2 videos about Mars and Venus to watch them as well, because they are equally important. They are sort of companion videos to this. They are in Capricorn, continuing with the friction and irritation. However, I think one of the big things that happens in March is that planets are now changing signs as well. Mercury goes out of Capricorn, goes into Aquarius. Mercury has been in Capricorn for a long time. The month starts with Mars, Venus in Capricorn. They have been together earlier on in Sagittarius for a long time. So these kind of faster moving planets not moving, sometimes it's making us stuck in situations haven't moved at all. So the plus point of March will be that you'll see a lot of movement and things sort of coming to a crescendo, coming to a culmination. Venus is going to conjoin with Saturn on 28th of March. And then it is out of this great influence of Mars and Saturn, and it is moving away. And that is also a blessing. So what I think one has to think about March as that a lot of things coming into a crescendo, but separating. Things are getting opening up, things are getting easier. And, we still have to wait for April, where there's a major shift in planets. So before the major shift is some things are culminating, some issues are now no longer that important for us. This is the last month of Jupiter in Aquarius, and in April it goes into Pisces. Sometimes you'll notice that as Jupiter leaves a sign, he gives us some gifts, some positive news. Whatever sign he is, he gives us some positive aspect. And I think that the major positive energy regarding Jupiter's movement from Aquarius is that it is no longer going to be influenced by Saturn. So we still have to honor Lord Saturn, and Jupiter is in Saturn's sign. But in Aquarius, is doing its own thing. It is moving into final stages of Aquarius in March. At the beginning of the month, Jupiter will be close to the sun, so combust, hidden from the eyes. But as the month progresses, Jupiter also moves on, and sun also moves away into Pisces. And finally, the main thing for March again is that Saturn is very dominant, because Saturn remains in Capricorn. All the planets have paid homage to him. They have gone the other side, and he is powerful, strong, and hard work, responsibility, all the Saturn rules, these are always good here. And there is still the Venus conjunction to take place earlier the month. There will be Mercury conjunction. Saturn itself is powerful and creating Mahapurusha yoga for Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Of course, Capricorn moons are still in Saresati, but depending if your moon is in Shravana or Uttara Ashada, that means Saturn has completed those transits. He's gone into Dhanishta, where he will remain for the rest of the year. I did make a video on Dhanishta, so do watch that. So how does it affect you? What to watch out for March 2022? Remember that I'm looking at your chart from your ascendant and also the moon sign. Aries, the month starts a bit complex. Mars is in war, and it's not the easiest energy, because Venus-Mars friction takes place. You can be in friction with partnerships, relationships. What people are telling me that this war is having all sorts of unexpected consequences as well. So remember that up to the 12th of March, Mars is in war. After that, it is exalted. I made a video about Mars, so do check that. And it is not going to conjoin with Saturn till April, and it is in a Ruchaka Mahapurusha yoga, so this can give you career opportunities and focus on that as well. Taurus, of course, again till 12th of March, the Mars-Venus war is taking place. I think for Taurus, this is not the easiest month. I made a video on Venus. I think you must watch that. Venus in Capricorn is first in war with Mars, then it's stuck between Mars and Saturn, and then 28th there's a conjunction with Saturn. So you're not able to move anywhere. You have Mars one side, Saturn one side. So much of the same. Just be patient, take your time. After 28th of April only, then Venus moves away from these guys, and it is more independent and able to do what you want to do. Gemini, I feel the best thing for you this month is that Mercury is out of Capricorn. It is going to go into Aquarius, where it is going to be conjoining with Jupiter. So Jupiter is much easier, positive energy for you. There is study, knowledge, general good luck, general good feel good factor is also there. You may want to do something innovative, different. That will be very good for you. Think about the environment, what you can do for it as well. The bigger global picture. Cancer. This is quite a complex month for you, because you have planets in your 7th and 8th house. 7th house, relationships, 8th house, unsettled energy, unexpected happenings. So therefore, trying to keep a balance in this time is important. And you need to watch where the moon is. There's a new moon on 2nd of March in Aquarius. So Aquarius is your 8th house. So again, this is telling you that there are some changes afoot that you should be prepared for. Moon doesn't stay in one sign for very long. So I feel that you do need to watch where the moon is going. And especially, there's moon is going to be isolated for a few days after 8th of March, so don't isolate yourself too much. Don't think my thinking, my unusual thinking, I'm going to go off my usual path. That is important. Try to keep your feet on the ground. Leo, it is not the easiest time for you because lots of planets in the sixth house. And even though Mars is exalted, he's not able to support you, give you the right ideas. And then the sun is with Jupiter, so that may be a good feel-good factor, but it is more about thinking about other people rather than thinking about yourself. And that doesn't always please you as much. So, and then you do need to watch out from 14th, 15th of March. Sun goes into Pisces, which is your 8th house. Usually for Leo, these months, the months starting the new year, always a little bit unsettled. So try to keep your routine going and things going, not trying to make any major changes. Virgo, Mercury moves into Aquarius, which is the sixth house. Sixth house is house of health and healing. Jupiter is also there. So big focus on that area. You should think about your own health. You can also think about, doing something positive for other people. There's a big bunch of planets in your fifth house of creative ideas, creative things. However, there are all these very intense planets, Saturn and Mars. So they're not always supporting you with more creativity. It's more practical creativity, I would say. And sometimes you may not know what to do with your ideas. So I would say write them down or put them in paper, not to action on them. You may find that there are some obstacles, that things are not always going according to plan because Mercury is in your sixth house. Libra, Venus, your ruling planet, is in a challenging phase at this stage. So therefore, you've got to be conscious of it. Although it is transiting in Capricorn, which is your fourth house to do with home and happiness, but it is first fighting with Mars, then it is going into stuck between Mars and Saturn, and then there's a Saturn conjunction on 28th of March. So, sometimes it appears that there's no solution to problems and it can be very irritating. However, if you keep the right attitude and know that this will also pass, and by the end of the month, things will be much easier. Therefore, do whatever you're having to do without making any major things or trying to get out of the situation. Things will automatically reveal themselves and be much easier to deal with. Scorpio, again, Mars is in planetary war early part of the month. It is exalted, but in the war, it is not getting to give its full power. It is in your third house. So third house is house of self-effort. However, because it is in planetary war, it's not really able to give its full result till 12th of March. After that, Mars remains in Capricorn. However, it's no longer in war with Venus. Venus moves on. And Venus is also creating a buffer for you with Saturn. And now Mars is exalted. And Saturn, Mars, both in your third house of effort and what you want to do. So I would say exalted Mars also thinking, planning, strategizing, those are the things you have to think about just now. And any action you're taking, because the Saturn is continuing being in your third house for a long time, has to be done with calculation or with planning, not to be rushed into. Sagittarius, this is the last month of Jupiter in Aquarius. He's ready to bless you. And it is your third house of self-effort, action, communication, connecting with people. So the beginning of the month, Jupiter's combust. So you may feel exhausted and you need a little bit of time to relax and look after yourself. And then, when you move into the month, it is quite okay. The planets have been rather difficult, but for you, it is more about a spectator rather than doing things yourself. Third house is also communication, getting in touch with people. It's aspecting your ninth house, study, knowledge, 11th house, money. Those things are things to be looking for. Capricorn, of course, Mars and Saturn in Capricorn, and Venus is also there most of this month. Even though planets are separating, these two are not going anywhere. Mars, Saturn are there for the month. Both of them are powerful, strong. Saturn is in its own sign. Mars is exalted. Now, if you have your moon in Capricorn, both these planets can be challenging you, and the mind can feel restless or, lack peace of mind. So doing something, meditation, maybe taking a walk, just relaxing yourself. If people are being conflicting or creating conflict with you, try to step away. Saturn has been there for a long time, so you're used to it. It's just Mars, he brings this, let's do something quickly. So that is where you just have to be a little bit patient and wait for it. Aquarius. Jupiter is having the last hurrah in your ascendant or moon sign. So that is really nice for you. All month, Jupiter is there. He's giving you a pass. Even though, in Vedic astrology, planets are good or negative for each ascendant or moon. But Jupiter by transit is always expanding, giving good luck, opportunities. However, Saturn, Mars, Venus, all in the 12th house. So, be careful with your expenses. I think that is the most important thing. I've been saying it for a long time. Enjoy your life, but don't get into debt or unnecessary expenses. I would say this is important. Pisces, this is the last month of Jupiter and Aquarius. Aquarius is your 12th house, so more spiritual energy. It can bring some big expenses also there. Spend on good causes, good things. Otherwise, wait till April when Jupiter goes into your first house, and therefore then it gives much easier time for you. All these planets in Capricorn, 11th house of money, profit. I would say that if you're thinking financially, that's not something you usually think, but if you're thinking financially, then err on the side of caution. Also, sometimes so many planets they want to push and say, okay, let's do this. And I would say that being a little bit careful and taking your time to plan any financial aspect would be good. 11th house is house of profit. So profit may come slowly but surely, and you can't push it. So just try to be a little bit detached and watch your expenses. So that is it for today. Thank you very much. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification, and I'm going to be posting a lot of new stuff now. And so you want to be there for it. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks.